All right, we're going to take a look at Mother Talzin's kit and the Nightsister rework. I do think this is very interesting, and I give props to CG for being creative. Now, I'm not able to tell how good they are until I have this inside of my test account. So be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. As soon as I can get full gameplay and play them myself and make a video, I won't know how good they are. But right now, I think they're very interesting. I think they're going to be very hard to kill. And I suspect the only way to kill these Nightsisters is with AoE, which is very interesting to me because we might have a rock, scissors, paper thing going on where Commander Luke Skywalker is pretty much anti-AoE. And then we've got the Nightsisters where, because they keep reviving and coming back, they might be the only way to kill them is with AoE. Let's talk about the Plague mechanic first and what it does. Firstly, Plague, when it's inflicted on a unit, they lose 5% health and at the start of their turns. They're immune to allied dispels and lose all stacks when Plague is healed to full. So the only way to get rid of Plague is if you heal them up to 100% health, and they're immune to dispels. So all the negative status effects are not going to get removed with a character like Rex. Now, Mother Talzin's unique has an added bonus where at the start of each enemy turn, if they are plagued and Talzin is active, they inflict plague on another random enemy, which can't be evaded or resisted. So it's going to go viral, and it's going to go from character to character. All right, so how do we get plague on the characters? And initially, the only way to get them is on Talzin's first special called Dark Magic. Deal special damage to all enemies and inflict plague for 3 turns. This attack ignores protection. Wow, look at that right there. Doesn't that look cool? I think that's pretty interesting because it's bypassing protection and it's going right to health. Very cool. Then Mother Talzin's basic attack called Ichor Lightning, which you can see right here. It looks like it does a ton of damage. Kind of looks like Palpatine because it does damage to all the characters that have the plague also. Deal special damage to target enemy, and if they were plagued, inflict plague for 3 turns. Deal special damage to all plagued enemies, which can't be countered. Very, very, very cool. Let's go to her leadership ability, and then we'll come back to her second special because her leadership ability helps move the plague around even further. Nightsister allies have 50% potency and 30 speed. Very cool. When a Nightsister ally uses a special ability, they inflict plague on the selected target for 3 turns, which can't be evaded. When an enemy resists a detrimental effect, Nights allies gain 5% turn meter. Woo! Okay, so every time they use a special ability, they're going to be inflicting plague more. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Zeta on the leadership ability for Talzin. When a Nightsister ally uses a basic ability during their turn, a random defeated Nightsister ally is revived with 50% health and called to assist. Then the revived ally is immediately defeated unless an enemy was defeated that turn. The revived ally can't be revived by this effect again until the end of next turn. So let's say you have Daka dead in your graveyard. She's dead in the graveyard. Because that's one thing about the Nightsister. They keep coming back to life. They can revive. Whole storyline like that in the Clone Wars. If Talzin's active and another Nightsister uses a basic attack and Daka is dead, she'll come back and stun people from the graveyard, from death. And if they defeat somebody with that attack, then Daka comes back to life. Wow! This is going to be crazy. It gets worse, and it gets more interesting because they're going to be really hard to kill. Take a look at their second special right here. Spirit Blade Assault. Deal special damage to target enemy and call all Nightsister allies to assist. If any enemies are defeated, all Nightsister allies are revived and recover 100% health. They're going to come back. This is going to make like that Nihilist ability Annihilate where they can't be revived. Very important. Boba Fett has it also. And killing them once is not going to be good enough. If one of them's still around and there's some kind of revive mechanics, they're going to keep coming back. Woo! I don't know how this is going to work out. It kind of makes my head explode, actually. And like I said, when I'm able to get my hands on them and play them, I'm not going to be really sure fully how they work. Let's just read this before we go to the Nightsister reworks because each one of the Nightsister got modified a little bit, and it's going to be very interesting. We're going to pay special attention, of course, to their basic attacks. Zeta ability on her unique when any unit falls below half health. Talzin gains 35% turn meter. I don't know. Mother Talzin brings a completely new and fresh gameplay experience to Nightsisters. In the heroic tank raid, she offers an impressive amount of AoE damage for the use of Plague, combined with Ichor Lightning and Spirit Blade Assault. Has the ability to revive all Nightsister allies, creating a powerful sustain mechanism which allows Nightsisters to recover from what would otherwise be a weak raid attempt. Additionally, Plaguebearer makes Talzin a must-have for Nightsisters. This is true. I think Nightsisters are going to be bad without Talzin. Whether she's under Asajj lead or her own, she will ensure that she's the mainstay of the squad for many, many full moons. Now, in PvP, this is what they're saying, and I do think this is probably true. Mother Talzin is crucial to a top-tier competitive Nightsister squad. She's the only source of Plague, a new, unique debuff to the Nightsisters that serves as their primary source of damage in the first half of the fight. A well-constructed Nightsister squad is particularly difficult to beat on defense unless you bring the proper tools, which I think is going to be healing and AoE. The Zeta upgrade on the Great Mother provides a nearly unstoppable source of assist, generating bonus damage and extra control utility throughout each fight. Now, I am just purely speculating on how they're going to work, but it looks very different, very interesting. I can't wait to try it out. Be sure to check back. Now, these are the reworks or tweaks to the kits on the Nightsisters, and it does seem to make them better. And we're going to pay special attention to the basic attacks because Talzin leadership, if someone is dead and a Nightsister uses a basic attack, they're going to bring one back to attack with them, which I think is going to be really scary if Daka is dead. Deal physical damage to target enemy with a 75% chance to stun them from one turn. And then all here in italics is what's new. Deal physical damage to a random enemy with a 55% chance to stun them from one turn. So basically, Daka is going to hit the main target and then a second target, and then there's an opportunity to stun them both. Now, I do want to talk about how this says 75% chance to stun them for one turn. What this is saying is that there's a 75% chance to stun them from one turn, but what that really means is that there is a 25% chance that it's going to fail no matter what. If it doesn't fail, then that 75% of the time it's going to check your potency versus their tenacity, and then there's a chance that it'll go off based on your potency and the defensive tenacity. Now, there's always a 15% chance it's going to go off on that check, even if the tenacity is greatly outweighing the potency. But it doesn't happen 75% of the time. That 75% of the time just means that no matter what, 25% of the time it's going to fail and not even check the potency and tenacity. Kind of confusing, but that's the way it works. So Daka can still stun two people. Now let's go to her special. Revive a random defeated Nightsister ally at 1 health. That's automatic. Before there was a % chance, now she can just automatically revive a Nightsister. Woof! Then there's a 35% chance, which is doubled on Nightsisters, to revive other defeated allies at 1% health. All allies recover health equal to 50% of old Daka's max health. Boy, she can just revive the whole team, basically. That's the way she was. It looks a lot better. Her leadership ability is not so good. I don't think it's going to get much use. Her unique serve again. Let's read this. When another ally is defeated, Daka gains 50% turn meter. Cool. And the cooldown of Chant Resurrection is reduced by 1. Cool. When another ally is revived while old Daka is active, the revived ally gains 20% turn meter and gains offense up and defense up for 2 turns. And if you have the Zeta ability, old Daka gains 10% max health stacking to the end of the battle. So, under Talzin's leadership, a basic attack, they're going to temporarily be revived when they attack, and this is going to trigger all of this stuff right here. I think that's very cool. Got to see the mechanics in action. I don't know, but it just makes my head spin and think, boy, that these guys are going to be really hard to kill. Asajj Ventress. Her special 1, dispel all buffs on all enemies, and Nightsister allies recover 40% health. Okay, for each buff dispelled, the enemy has a 50% chance to lose 20% turn meter, and Nightsister allies recover 10% health. This attack can't be evaded or resisted. Okay, deal special damage to all enemies and inflict defense down for 2 turns. All right, refresh on cooldowns on a finishing blow. All right, her leadership ability, which we'll see if it's a viable thing. Nightsister's allies have the 30 speed, which is the same thing as Talzin. 30% offense, gain 50% turn meter when they fall below 100% health, and have a 50% chance to remove 20% turn meter when they damage an enemy. This turn meter removal can't be resisted. Kind of reminds me of Darth Vader a little bit. So that's very interesting. Now, let's go to her unique ability. When an ally or enemy is defeated, Asajj gains 35% turn meter and gains 15% offense, 15% critical chance, and 5% max health, stacking until the end of the counter. Asajj has 15 speed for each enemy with no buffs. Woo! She's going to be fast, and she's going to get stronger and stronger. There's going to be a lot of allies being defeated. I think she's really going to ramp up and get stronger as the battle goes on. Now, Talia got a rework. She's going to be able to cleanse the team, which I think was absolutely necessary for the Nightsisters to be viable. Her basic draining strike, deal physical damage to target enemy, dealing 50% damage if Talia is below full health. Nightsister allies recover health equal to the damage dealt. Wow, she's going to be giving lots of health back. Now, that's her basic attack, so she's dead in the graveyard under the Talzin lead. There's going to be ways of the team getting health back by this attack. Very cool. Special 1. Now this dispels all debuffs on all Nightsister allies. Very, very, very important. I cannot stress how important it is to have a cleanser on your team. Very, very useful. Talia consumes 20% of her max health and gains 15% turn meter for each active Nightsister ally. So she'll be able to go back to back on this. All allies recover 50% max health and gain 30% turn meter. This seems very useful. Very, very useful. Special 2, Harrowing Assault. Deal special damage to target enemy and inflict damage over time. And stagger. Love that stagger mechanic. Talia has full health. Consume 10% of her max health to deal double damage. Otherwise, she immediately uses Draining Strike, which is her basic attack in healing. All right, very cool. We're going to go to Nightsister Acolyte. Her basic, Strike from the Shadows. Deal physical damage to target enemy with a 70% chance to gain stealth for 2 turns. And if Nightsister Acolyte has stealth, she attacks again. See, I'm looking at these basic attacks because of the Talzin leadership ability. That doesn't seem that great. Special, Sacrificial Magics. Deal special damage to target enemy on a critical hit, gain 30% turn meter, and dispel all debuffs on a random Nightsister ally. So she's going to be dispelling also. This attack gains 20% critical damage for each active Nightsister ally and each debuff enemy. On a finishing blow, reduce the cooldown of this ability by 1. So it looks like she's going to be pretty powerful. Nightsister Acolyte has 25% critical chance and recovers 20% health on each critical hit. While Nightsister Acolyte has stealth, she has 50% offense. See, we don't know what the stat boosts are going to be or the speed boost. We're not able to see the individual stats on this, so I really got to play it to see it. And one of these guys, either the Acolyte or the Initiate, is probably going to be the one that's going to be left out of the team. Initiate, a critical focused attacker that can render enemies immune to buffs. Deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict damage over time for 3 turns. On a critical hit, inflict damage over time for 3 turns. So if she hits a crit, she's going to put 2. If she just does a basic and doesn't crit, she's going to get hit 1. Also, basic attack, she could be useful after she's dead from the graveyard. And I don't know what to call it, but that's the only thing I know what to call it is a graveyard. Special 1, cut down. All allies gain critical chance up for 3 turns. Cool. Then physical damage to target enemy. Severing Strike, deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict buff immunity for 2 turns. Boy, that is so good putting that on General Kenobi. I really like putting buff immunity on General Kenobi. Very cool. Her unique ability, if Nightsister Initiate has full health, she has 100% counter chance. Otherwise, she has 100% offense. Okay, that's cool, I guess. I don't know. All right. New and improved Nightsisters have emerged from the shadows of Death and Mirror to claim their place among the top-end arena swags and deal serious damage in PvE content. Their strategy with the new Plague debuff and their ability to sustain battles via revive mechanics make them powerful and fun squad to use strategically during battle. On the other hand, facing off against a Nightsister is a unique and exciting challenge that feels equal parts satisfying and terrifying. Asajj Ventress has claimed her rightful spot of the top damage dealer of the Nightsister faction, and she should be, yeah. Asajj turn meter gain and scaling offense, critical chance, and max health on her rampage fits perfectly with their Zeta upgrade on Talzin's leadership ability, Great Mother. Asajj deals immense amounts of damage late in the fight, presenting players with another high-value target to strategize around. Asajj also gains squad utility due to her speed, strike fear, now healing all Nightsister allies. I don't know. We got to see how this works. I can't wait to get my hands on this. We're going to see. Acolyte, after her rework, Nightsister Acolyte deals greater damage, enters stealth more often, and can now attack a second time while stealth. We'll see. Initiate, cut down, now grants her allies critical chance up for 3 turns. Has gained a unique ability. Nightsister Retaliation can grant her either 100% counter chance or 100% offense to make her stronger in the arena. Daka is integral to a truly competitive Nightsister squad. Her consistent revives and heal prove troublesome if you allow it to go unchecked. Once you've locked the Zeta, upgrade a Mother Talzin leader ability, Great Mother, your enemies will have to think twice about defeating Daka first. If they do, Daka will be called to assist from beyond the grave, potentially inflicting 2 stuns each time. Wow. So I can see how Asajj, Daka, Talzin, and Talia are very useful. We'll have to see which of the 2 right here, Acolyte or Initiate, are better. Or maybe Daka can be replaced and you can go damage with these 2. But like I said, until I can get my hands on the kit, I won't know how good they really are. So be sure to check back and put down in the comment section whether you're going to think they're going to be good or not. I do think they're going to be good. I hope it's not hard to get Talzin, but we'll see. All right, guys. Peace out.